So the first and the most important thing to understand is that on the whole, societally and culturally, we are conditioned to really crave approval, validation, and getting our value from external sources, other people, or religious institutions, spiritual institutions, the government, our education system, our boss, or whatever, because it's sort of giving us this real hierarchical view of the world where it's sort of like a pyramid, and we're at the bottom, and we need approval from those somehow above us to somehow make ourselves feel worthy. And this is also really the backbone of our capitalistic society, because you couldn't really have a capitalist society unless people felt insecure, unless people felt the need for external validation. So these are powerful mechanisms, and just using our will or our effort to try to not do those things, destined to failure, not gonna work, because it doesn't make any sense. Really what does make more sense is time, effort, input, understanding, and developing actual insight, seeing into the situation that we're in and being able to understand it for what it is. So for example, let's say we're really affected by, this opinions of other people, really, what they think. Yet the truer understanding of that situation is that rarely does anyone even see us, hear us, or even have the time or energy or mental space to set their own delusion aside to be able to clearly be in the same space as another person. That's a bit more rare because they have these same mechanisms for validation and approval combined with their agendas and just strong desires and the ways they're trying to coerce and manipulate situations for their own specific ends, that for them to actually set that aside and listen and hear you, that's a bit rare. So how can you really care what that person is coming back with in that situation? Because really what you're caring about is delusion. Because generally, if they're not seeing what you're actually saying, they're not hearing what you're actually saying, they're not seeing you for who you really are in this larger context, then how can you really care what they say? Because what they're responding to is probably their emotional reaction, some projection of their past experience, or some complete total misinterpretation of what they think you were saying or communicating, which they're using as a springboard to try to push forth their agenda and need for validation or approval or something like this. So when you have this type of game, you're trying to take something from this game which is not possible, because the situation that I'm describing is not going to produce the results that we want. So how can we, in all honesty, really even care and be really even that invested in it? Truth is, you can't. But the truth is, you also can't force yourself to not be. It's something that kind of only can come about and manifest as a result of starting to reflect and see things for what they actually are, meaning in our own action, our own conduct, and in that of others. And really developing intelligence, emotional intelligence, and actual communication intelligence to see, am I actually hearing this person? Am I actually seeing this person? And are they doing the same for me? And usually most of the time, this is not even happening, because generally most people's interactions exist at such a superficial level, exchanging just minutia details about, I went here and I did this and I did that, and then this person said this and this person said that. And it's why would you ever need to really hear anything? Because there's nothing requiring anything deeper or any real engagement. And then you grow up in a society and a culture that encourages and relates that as being the goal through celebrity worship and obsession with beautiful people and this type of nonsense, then no wonder. So then you really have to start to look at the situation that you're in and understand it for what it is.